time to go live. Going live. And I'm going live. Going live. According to YouTube, I'm live. Hello if you're watching this live. Hello if you're watching on playback. Welcome to my 26th live stream on this channel. Now, I finally back from my holiday, been uploading some of my film reviews whilst I was on holiday, but now I'm back. I'll be doing some live streams again. I'll be doing another live stream tomorrow, because hopefully we're going to get some news about a game I'm very excited for tomorrow called LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga. There's been some reports and we're going to get some news on that game coming tomorrow, so I'll probably do another live stream tomorrow as well. But here I am today talking about one of the things I'm most anticipated for, as well as another thing that I am looking forward to as well, which is the Eternals. I'll be talking about that again a bit later in this live stream, but I'll also be talking about my most anticipated movie for this year so far, Spider-Man No Way Home. I can't wait for this movie, and the trailer was finally released, and I'll be giving my thoughts on the trailer a bit later on in this live stream. But anyway, before I get into my topic today, first of all, I'm going to talk about some things in particular, like what this live stream is actually about. Basically, if you don't know what these live streams are about, basically like once or twice, maybe even 3 times a week, I talk about current movie and TV topics going on in the movie and TV world right now. And at the same time though, I also answer any live questions sent in. Haven't had much live questions sent in. I did get a few on my last live stream actually, which is great by the way. So if you are watching this live or watching this on playback, whatever, please do send in some questions for me to talk about in my next live stream of watching this live. Send in some questions to talk to me about now. Honestly, I'd love some questions. And at the same time though, I'll also be talking about anything you guys want me to talk about in my next live stream if you put it in the comment section below. If you're watching some playback and you want me to talk about something in the comment section, you want to talk about something in particular in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comment section below. And at the same time though, I should say a couple of things before I get into the live stream as well. Some house cleaning items. If by any means you get some sound interference, whether it's the road outside, I live next to a main road, or whether you hear drilling at one point, sometimes it feels like I'm next to a building site. Honestly, there's always somebody drilling next to me in one of the houses. I mean, my neighbor's really nice, anything don't have it against them, but there's always somebody drilling going on. There's always some sort of drilling going on. So if any means you hear like a tractor going past around the live stream, some motorbikes, a truck, a car, or like a really loud car, something like that, or there's some drilling at any point during this live stream, I can't control that. It's just where I live and everything. And at the same time though, I also live in the countryside, and hay fever hasn't been the best this summer. So if at any point I do actually sneeze during this live stream, I do apologise. I can't control that, but I'm just letting you guys know. Hasn't happened yet, but never say never. And so that's all I need to talk about house cleaning wise. And so without further ado, I'm going to speed into my main topics today, because I actually need to hurry things up, because I'm going to go watch Free Guy early today. I'm going to go watch Free Guy about 11:30 at the cinema I'm going to, because I haven't actually seen Free Guy yet. You know, the new Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, Taika Waititi film. It's getting some great reviews, and I'm going to go and check it out. Hopefully I enjoy it. It looks like one of those films I'm just going to enjoy, so hopefully I'll enjoy it. I'm going to go and see that a bit later. That's why I've done this live stream a bit earlier. Also, I just had to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, which I've seen about 5 times already this morning. So yeah, I'll be talking about that a bit later in this live stream. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into topic number 1. So topic number 1 in this live stream today is my thoughts on the final trailer for the Eternals. Now, the final trailer was released a couple of days ago now. It was released when I was on holiday, and so I obviously didn't get to talk about it because I was on holiday. And honestly, I'm going to admit here, I am looking forward to Eternals. I think Chloe Zhao is a fantastic director. I think the cast are great. You know, Angelina Jolie finally in the Marvel movie, which are mad in there. Kit Harington in there, Salma Hayek. You know, great cast. There's loads of others I haven't talked about yet, but the whole cast for the Eternals is great, and I think it's going to be a great movie. Been hearing some like test screenings that have had overwhelmingly positive reviews. Like at test screenings, apparently there's been like 10-minute standing ovations, which normally doesn't happen for a Marvel movie and stuff like that. So I bet the Eternals is going to be absolutely fantastic. But honestly, the final trailer for it, which was released a couple of days ago now, I've got to admit, it feels like at the moment that Marvel's experimenting with how boring they can make the trailers. Now, I'm not talking about Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, no, that's not what I'm talking about, because Spider-Man No Way Home is actually more Sony and everything. I mean, obviously, you know, Spider-Man is in the MCU right now, but still, it's technically Sony marketing that. So I'm not really talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, no, I'm talking about that a bit later. What I am talking about is Eternals trailer. Honestly, it's the same as Shang-Chi at the moment, and I'm very intrigued to see what the box office is going to be like for Shang-Chi, because I think that movie hasn't had the best marketing. I honestly think that I kind of think that, you know, Shang-Chi doesn't look that great, to be honest, and I don't think it looks that exciting, and honestly, I'm kind of feeling the same way with the Eternals. It feels like Marvel at the moment, with their marketing, with their trailers and whatnot, is experimenting with how boring they can make their movies look. And I don't want to say that. I want to be somebody who watches these trailers and think, my God, I'm not big on this movie, but actually after watching this trailer, I want to go and watch this movie. But I'm not feeling that at the moment. I didn't feel that with Shang-Chi, and that movie's getting amazing reviews, but I have very little excitement for it because the trailers weren't that great. And also, another reason I don't think Shang-Chi's going to do that well is it doesn't have any big names in there. I mean, obviously, you have Michelle Yeoh in there, but she's not a huge name. She's not a household name. And, there's some rumors at the moment and some kind of little confirmations that apparently Ben Kingsley will be reprising his role as a quote-unquote Mandarin from Iron Man 3 in this film as well. But even that, he's not a big name. He's not being advertised like, this film is going to star Ben Kingsley. No, it's Shang-Chi with Simu Liu. I can't pronounce his name. Simu Liu. I think that's how I pronounce his name. Apologies if not. But you get my point. Like, there's nothing really enticed me to go and see Shang-Chi. And I think that's kind of how I'm feeling about the Eternals as well. And it's a shame. I want to look forward to Eternals. I liked the first trailer. I thought it was kind of cool. I was like, oh, this looks like a different Marvel movie. Though I felt like I was in the minority there because I know a lot of people didn't like the first trailer for the Eternals. And now it's kind of the other way around. A lot of people love the final trailer. Well, the quote-unquote final trailer. I don't think it's actual final trailer, by the way. There'll be a bunch of TV spots which will release before the film comes out. And also there'll be a bunch of clips from the movie which will release on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or something in America, one of the American talk shows, before the film actually comes out. This is definitely not the final trailer. You're going to get so much more marketing for the film yet. But anyway, yeah, so quote-unquote final trailer. I didn't think it looked that good. It just ended up leaving me a bit confused. Be like, oh, okay, this looks like it could be fun, but what's making this film stand out? Honestly, with the first trailer, it didn't have any big CGI monsters in there. It didn't have any big fantastical superpowers going on there. Instead, it just looked like, I don't know, it looked kind of like a team-up movie, not too dissimilar to something like Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy, but outside of the MCU. Like, as much as I do love Guardians of the Galaxy, still my favourite MCU movie yet, as much as I do love Guardians of the Galaxy, it does feel like a movie in the MCU, and the Eternals, well, the first trailer for the Eternals, didn't look like it did. It looked like it took place outside the MCU. Obviously, if you take out that gag again in the first trailer about the whole thing to do with Steve Rogers, like, who's in charge of the Avengers, now Steve Rogers is down, and things like that, if you take out that gag, for the most part, that first trailer looks like it, the first trailer for the Eternals doesn't look like it takes place in the MCU. This does. The final trailer for the Eternals does. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I know a lot of people will be turned on by that. People are like, oh my God, yes, Marvel. But at the same time, for me, I want to see something which stands out against Marvel. And what stands out in Marvel, that's one of the reasons I like Guardians of the Galaxy so much, because it's different than most Marvel movies. That's one of the reasons I like the Spider-Man films so much, the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, which we'll be talking about very, very shortly in this live stream. That's one of the reasons I like them so much, because they're just enjoyable. There's no end-of-the-world situation in those films. I mean, I know Mysterio is quite a big villain in Far From Home, but nevertheless, they're not villains which are going to end the world. They're just villains which are trying to cause, Spider-Man havoc and trying to kill Peter Parker, as, because he has some connections to Tony Stark. That's what those movies are so enjoyable, because they're not the end of the world. The Eternals is the end of the world again, and I was watching the trailer, the young Eternal in the trailer, something like, oh, front seat to the end of the world, oh wow, this is what it looks like, something like that. I might be paraphrasing there, but yeah, you get the point. I was sitting there watching the trailer for the Eternals and thinking, really, it's another end of the world situation? Now, I could be completely proven wrong, and maybe Eternals wins Best Picture this year. I don't know. It is Chloe Zhao, bear in mind. She did win Best Picture last year. Maybe she wins Best Picture again with this movie. But honestly, I don't know. The trailer didn't look that great. Like I said before, it felt like Marvel is experimenting with how boring they can make their trailers look. I don't think the trailer looks terrible, but I also don't think it looks great either. We see the Celestials in there, which apparently are the villains of the Eternals. I don't know who the Celestials are. And bear in mind, I'm someone who's never read the comic books before, like the majority of a movie-going audience who haven't read the comic books. I mean, there's some hardcore Marvel fans out there, and some hardcore superhero fans just in general, and comic book fans and whatnot, and they're all really excited to see the Celestials in the Eternals. I don't have a clue who Celestials are, and I didn't get who they were from the trailer, and honestly, there's a bunch of big CGI monsters in there, which was a bit like, here we go again. Honestly, I'm hoping the Eternals proves me wrong. I'm hoping I go watch this movie when it comes out November the 5th. I'm hoping when this movie comes out November the 5th, a week before Ghostbusters Afterlife, by the way. I'm very excited for Ghostbusters Afterlife. Apparently the film screened a couple of days ago now, and apparently it's absolutely fantastic. But yes, back onto this movie. Yeah, this film comes out a week before Ghostbusters Afterlife, though, and I'm very, very excited for both movies. Although, actually, I'm more excited for Ghostbusters Afterlife. But nevertheless, this film comes out November the 5th, and I will be going to watch it the day it comes out. But I wish I had more excitement for it. I wish the second trailer, the quote-unquote final trailer, did more for me. But honestly, in the end, it didn't. And I just kind of left the final trailer going, the Eternals. Here we go again, because I didn't get what the film was about. Okay, they're trying to save the end of the world. What makes that different than the Avengers? What makes that different than, I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy? As much as I love Guardians of the Galaxy, again, they're just saving the world. So what makes this film different? I'm excited to see that, and fingers crossed that gets, that gets answered. And also, one last thing I'm going to talk about, the Eternals trailer. Give me a sec, just to jump onto Google. One last thing I want to talk about is this. Is Richard Madden Superman in this movie? Like, apparently that's an Akiris in the film, like Akiris, I don't know what his name is. I'm hearing these things off, like, other channels I watch, by the way. I watch a bunch of, like, geeks on YouTube who talk about this. You talk about just comic books in general, comic book movies coming out and stuff like that. And they're really, really excited for this movie, and they're talking about this trailer, really happy for it. And I'm glad people are, really excited for this film. And I'm glad people really like the trailers as well. But the thing is, though, what makes him that good? What makes Richard Madden different than Superman? Because honestly, when I saw that, it made me just think, is that not just the MCU Superman? And I know a lot of people will go, well, actually, no, he's not the MCU Superman, this is the comic books, he's doing after the comic books like that. You can say that, but in the end, the majority of people who will go and watch this movie haven't read the comic books. And they're going to be watching the movie thinking, they've copied that from Superman. And I did, so, I don't know. I think Richard Madden's a great actor. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the movie. But isn't that just Superman? Anyhow, you get my point there. It's kind of the same way I feel about the Shang-Chi right now. Fingers crossed they get proven wrong by both movies. Shang-Chi's getting rave reviews right now, and fingers crossed Eternals does as well. Fingers crossed I go and see it opening day, and I absolutely adore it. I mean, I do think this movie will be different than most MCU movies, because it glows out. But at the same time, though, I've got to admit, I wish my excitement was higher for this movie than it actually is. And it does feel at the moment that Marvel, whether it's Shang-Chi or the Eternals, is experimenting with how boring they can make the trailers look. And that's a shame, because I really want to look forward to these movies, but I don't think the trailers are doing it justice. I don't think the trailer for Shang-Chi is doing it justice, and I think that's one of the reasons that Shang-Chi might potentially bomb at the box office. Like, I'm not saying it definitely will, but I'd be intrigued to see how good Shang-Chi does at the box office, and as well as Eternals. I'm intrigued to see how well both of them do at the box office. But nevertheless, I will watch both of them, and fingers crossed I get proven wrong by both. But it does feel like they're experimenting with how boring they can make the trailers right now, which is a shame. But anyway, that's the end of topic number 1. So, without further ado, let's move into topic number 2 today. And my topic number 2 on this live stream is a trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. It's finally out. Thank the bloody Lord. Honestly, this is my most anticipated movie for this year, and I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I've loved them actually. I really liked the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies in the MCU so far. I really like Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I've adored, the Tom Maguire Spider-Man movies. I mean, I didn't adore Spider-Man 3. That's quite a bad movie, but I still enjoyed it. I'm not really sure why, but I still did. By the way, go check out my review, which I uploaded not too long ago on this channel, of my review of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. But I adored Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 with Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I adored Spider-Man 2 with Alfred and Dr. Octopus. Funny that I'm talking about that, by the way, because obviously they're coming back in this movie as well, which we'll be talking about very, very shortly. But yes, I adore those movies. And from what I can remember about the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I'm going to have to watch them again, because I've only seen them once a while back. But I enjoyed them. I don't think they're brilliant, but what can I remember? I enjoyed them. I will have to go back and rewatch them again. And I will be reviewing the Amazing Spider-Man movies on this channel. But I enjoyed Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker on those movies. I enjoyed his chemistry with Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy in those movies as well. But I did think the Amazing Spider-Man films had some problems, but I will be talking about that in a bit more detail on this channel going forward before Spider-Man No Way Home comes out. But anyway, today we finally got our first trailer. Well, we basically got our first official trailer that was officially released. I mean, yesterday a leaked trailer was released as well. But honestly, I had a look to see what the leaked trailer was like, to see if we could really make anything out on it, and you couldn't. Honestly, it was all over the place, that leaked trailer. And I watched about a second of that leaked trailer and I just clicked away from it. I was like, no, I want to watch the trailer officially, the way it's meant to be released, all the VFX finish and things like that. And finally, this morning, when I woke up, it was released online. Already hit 40 million views when I woke up and watched it. And I woke up about 7:30 this morning to watch the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, and it was already at 40 million views. And I'm not sure when it actually dropped in the UK, where I am, but I was like, flipping heck, this movie might be huge. I think this movie will be the first movie after the pandemic to cross over $1 billion. I do think other movies will do well as well. Pardon me that. I do think a movie like Venom Let There Be Carnage will also do well in the box office, but I think Spider-Man No Way Home, especially if the rumours are true, I think Spider-Man No Way Home will gross over 1 billion in the box office. Pardon me again there, sorry. But yeah, let's talk about the trailer a sec. So it's my most anticipated movie for this year. I love the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I really liked the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and I've enjoyed the Amazing Spider-Man movies from what I can remember. So I went into the trailer with quite a lot of excitement. I wasn't expecting to see someone like Tom Maguire or Andrew Garfield in this trailer because I think they're going to leave that for the second trailer. But nevertheless, I still got very, very excited to see this trailer, and so when I woke up this morning and I watched it, I think it's a good trailer. I think it's a good tease trailer. But nevertheless, I don't love the trailer overall. I don't think it's amazing, this trailer. I think it's good, and I think it does what it does need. I think it does what it needs to do for a teaser trailer. It gets you excited for the movie, but it doesn't give too much away. I love that it doesn't give too much away, by the way. I love that I don't really have a clue what's going on in this movie. I kind of got multiverse. I know that Peter Parker wants to hide his identity and everything. And by the way, I love the fact that this movie is so much more serious than the other two Spider-Man movies just from this trailer. I mean, I might be completely wrong, and maybe actually the tone is very similar than some like Homecoming and Far From Home as well. But just from the trailer alone, I got a feeling like the tone was going to be very different, going to be much darker and everything. And I love that about this film. I love the fact that they're going in a bit of a dark direction with it. Kind of like they do with Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I know I'll talk about again, but apparently that movie screened, and apparently it's great, by the way, so I'm very much looking forward to Ghostbusters Afterlife. Another Sony movie, by the way. But yes, I love the fact that it's gone to a darker route and everything. I love the fact that you see, like, Peter Parker being investigated. Well, looks like by the FBI, it might be the police or whatever like that. He's being investigated about the whole Mysterio stuff. And by the way, I didn't think before this, and this is pure speculation, but I didn't think before this that Mysterio was actually going to be in this movie. I think Mysterio is going to be in this movie. Bear in mind, we didn't see Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio die in Far From Home, and I think he's going to be in this movie. The amount they're talking about him in this trailer, just in this trailer alone, can we bear in mind, the first trailer, the teaser trailer for this movie, I think he's going to be in the I think he's going to be in the movie. I think it's going to be in the movie. I think, Michael Keaton's Vulture will be as well. Again, just pure speculation. But from what I'm seeing from the trailer, it feels like it's bringing quite a lot of things together. And it feels like, we know Alfred Miller's Dr. Octopus is definitely in there now. Just seeing him at the end of the trailer and things like that. And we know that Jamie Foxx's Electro is going to be, that's been confirmed in the Hollywood Report. And it's looking more and more likely that Willem Dafoe is returning as a Green Goblin as well, which is so exciting. But I also think that Mysterio is going to be in this film because we didn't see him die Far From Home, and there's a lot of people talking about him. I think that he's going to be in this movie, and I think he's going to have quite a big part in there. Pure speculation, but nevertheless, I think that he's going to be quite a big part of this movie because we even see, there's a lot of people talking about him in this trailer just alone. And at the same time, though, I also like the fact that we saw, Jon Favreau's Happy Hogan in there. That was actually confirmed. The Happy, Iron Man's assistant was actually going to be in this movie, but apparently he is. And at the same time, though, it looks like we're getting Willem Dafoe back as Green Goblin. Now, if you jump here, give me a sec to jump onto Google, let's see, channel trailer. No, if you jump onto here, so it's going to get a little bit up where you actually see the little Green Goblin ball. Where is it? Where is it? There. Have I just gone past it? There. That's the Green Goblin ball. Now, I don't know if that's confirming he's in this movie or not, but I think it's more likely now that Willem Dafoe is returning as Green Goblin in this movie. Then it still hasn't been confirmed, but I think that's making it look likely that we're going to see him in this movie because we see the little ball thing, I don't know what it is, but like a Green Goblin ball thing that you see him with in the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film with Tom Maguire and everything. So, that got me excited. I remember watching this morning thinking, yes, Willem Dafoe is potentially looking more and more likely that he's returning as the Green Goblin. Not being confirmed, so do all take it with a grain of salt, but nevertheless, it looks more and more likely. And by the way, the trailer's actually got 16 million views now, so there you go there. And at the same time, though, we also see at the end of the trailer, Alfred Molina is back as Dr. Octopus. Now, apparently, there's been some, apparently, according to Alfred Molina, who did an interview with Variety, by the way, he said that they're doing de-aging with his face. I can kind of tell there. Hopefully, it's a bit better in the movie. I think it will be, because I think there's still a lot of post-production going on with this movie at the moment, because bear in mind, it didn't come out until Christmas. But it looks great to see him back, and apparently he is the same Dr. Octopus. According to Alfred Molina, and that interview he did with Variety, according to Alfred Molina, he is the same Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2 that we saw quote-unquote die in Spider-Man 2. So that's very, very exciting as well. And also, I want to point out this. Not loads of people are talking about this in the trailer. There's a shot here, which I think that's Electro. I think that's Jamie Foxx's Electro, now with like yellow lightning, I think. He had blue lightning in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I think that's Jamie Foxx's Electro here. I don't think we had to get to see Jamie Foxx in this trailer. No, we didn't get to see him, no we didn't. But I think that's his lightning and everything, and I think that's foreshadowing that Jamie Foxx is in this movie. I might be wrong. Well, yeah, that's not being confirmed in the movie, but I might be wrong that that's Jamie Foxx's Electro. Maybe that's a different villain. Maybe that's Sandman. I mean, again, pure speculation, but there has been some rumors going on that Sandman's apparently in this movie as well. Yet again with Thomas Hayden Church returning to play Sandman. But I think this is Jamie Foxx's Electro in this movie, and I'm very, very excited to see that. And also, can I point out here? I don't know how well the audio is going to be here, but the screen goes black at one stage. We get all this and everything.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Who is that? Is that... you know what? I'm going to say it, and I think I might be completely wrong here, but I think that voice we just heard there, that could have been James Franco. Or it's more likely to be Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, but it sounded very similar to James Franco, and, obviously people might know that James Franco played the new Goblin, High Osborn, Green Goblin's son, in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. So it wouldn't be too outlandish to have him in this movie. However, a bunch of stuff has been going around with James Franco at the moment recently, that he's not in a particularly good place in Hollywood, so I doubt it is James Franco. It's probably more or less Willem Dafoe, but nevertheless, it did sound a bit like James Franco in the trailer. I'm not going to lie there, but I bet it's Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. I bet that was Willem Dafoe, the voice that we heard there, when the screen went black in the trailer and everything like that. I think that's more likely Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, but it wouldn't totally shock me if James Franco was in this film. Because bear in mind, they shot it before that stuff came out about James Franco, so it wouldn't totally shock me. But nevertheless, it's more than likely, it's more than likely Willem Dafoe as a Green Goblin. But the fact that we might be getting Willem Dafoe as a Green Goblin back is so exciting. The fact that we might be getting, the two best on-screen Spider-Man villains in the same movie together. Alfred as Dr. Octopus and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Two of my favourite, Spider-Man villains we've had in the movie so far, on-screen together in one movie. Imagine that. Imagine seeing those two characters together. Honestly, I would just get so excited. I mean, I think we're going to get more reveals in the second trailer, but nevertheless, I like this trailer. It gave kind of a feel of what the movie's going to be like. I like the whole stuff like the focusing more on Peter's identity reveal that we got at the end of Far From Home. I like the focusing on that a bit more. We also got to see a bit more of J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson in there, which is exciting. I think there's a chance, and again, just pure speculation, heard some rumours though, that apparently J.K. Simmons might be playing 3 different versions of J. Jonah Jameson, which might be one of the funniest things I'll ever get in a movie, one of the best things I'll ever get in a Superman movie ever. I mean, he might be playing the same version we saw in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, with Tom Maguire and stuff like that, and then he might be playing a different version that we see in like the Far From Home, at the end of Far From Home and things like that, and then he might play a different version. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that we might get more than one version of J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson in this movie in No Way Home, which would be very, very exciting. But anyway, yeah, I like to focus on their identities for a bit more. Like, Peter's identity is being revealed. I liked that they focused on that quite a bit. Because at the end of Iron Man 1, you get the whole thing with, Tony Stark saying, and I am Iron Man. And then then it cuts into Black Sabbath's Iron Man, which is a great song, by the way. It cuts into that for the end credits and things like that. But then you get to Iron Man 2, and there isn't really much focus on that from what I can remember. I mean, Iron Man 2 is quite a forgettable film, in my opinion. But there isn't really much focus on the fact that Tony Stark has revealed his identity as Iron Man. It's just kind of skimmed over. It's like, oh, wow. From what I can remember, I might be wrong there. But, yeah, I love the fact that they're focused on it a bit more. I love the fact that there's a whole big thing, like, Peter's upset that he's got, his friends and family in trouble over the fact that he's Spider-Man. I love that they're focused on that more, because I think that's a really interesting direction to go with this movie. And then we see Doctor Strange do the whole spell thing and everything. And I don't know, this is just pure speculation again, but I don't know whether it's just me, or was Doctor Strange acting a bit different in this trailer than we usually see him act? I might be completely wrong there, but he was acting a bit different. By the way, you might be hearing drilling right now. There's some drilling going on next door. I do apologise about that if you can't hear it in the background. But yeah, was it just me, or was Doctor Strange acting a bit different? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see for the movie. But I really like seeing Benedict Cumberbatch back as Doctor Strange in there. I do like Benedict Cumberbatch quite a lot as Doctor Strange, by the way. Don't always love the movies he's been in, though. But he looks like he's going to be good in this movie. I like to see a bit more of the MJ and Pete relationship as well, which looks quite good in the movie. It looks quite realistic. We didn't see much of Ned. I think something's going to happen with Ned, because the actor who plays Ned now, I forgot his name is now, but the actor who plays Ned, Peter Parker's best mate in the movie, the actor who plays him, before they shot No Way Home, he lost loads of weight. And normally when people are doing that, it's when they're training up for like a superhero / supervillain role. Now, again, just poor speculation, but maybe Ned might become a villain in this movie or might have a much bigger role. Again, speculation, or maybe just, lost a bunch of weight. But still, I just think it was a bit of a coincidence that he lost it before. Literally, it was like a month before they shot No Way Home. He just happened to lose all this weight and everything. But I forgot his name is now. Jake Battle or something like that. But yeah, he lost a bunch of weight. The actor who plays Ned, Peter Parker's best mate, before the movie came out. So maybe Ned's got a bigger role to play in this movie. We'll have to wait and see. And also, I liked the look of the trailer. I didn't love the trailer. I know a lot of people going wild for the trailer, and that's great. And I think I'm happy a lot of people are loving the trailer. I didn't love the trailer because it didn't really give me an idea what the film was going to be about. It just really got, okay, multiverse, Doctor Strange. After there's Doctor Octopus, potentially one before Green Goblin, and then we got maybe a hint of Jimmy Foxx's Electro as well. But it didn't really give me a idea of what the film is about, and that's what I liked from a trailer. But nevertheless, I think it was a good teaser trailer. I'm more excited for the official trailer, which is probably going to come back in a month's time. Because remember, we got the first trailer for the Eternals about a month ago now. It was a month or a half ago, something like that. And then about a week ago now, or a couple of days ago now, we got the quote-unquote final trailer for the Eternals as well. So I reckon in about a month's time, we'll get the official trailer. Maybe it'll be the final trailer for No Way Home. And I think we're going to get some big reveals on that trailer. I think we're going to get a confirmation of whether that is Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I think more than likely it is now. I'm going about 90% he is, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is in this movie. I'm not saying how much he'll be in this movie, but I think he definitely will be. And I think in the next trailer, we're going to get some more villains reveals, because apparently there's some rumours going on that Sinister Six, all take it with a grain of salt, these are just rumours. There's some rumours that Sinister Six is going to be happening in this movie, with Paul Giamatti's Rhino, with different Lizard that we saw in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and also Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman that we saw in Spider-Man 3 as well, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 with Tim Maguire. So there's some rumours going around that apparently Sinister Six might be in the movie, or take it with a grain of salt if these are just rumours, by the way. But I think if those rumours are true, I think in the next trailer, I think we're going to get some big confirmations. And I also think the last shot of the next trailer, and again, just pure speculation, but I think the last shot of the next trailer is going to be Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, because I think they're going to leave for the second trailer, because the first trailer always gets loads of views. People always like to see the trailer for a film. It always gets more views than the official trailer. It normally does anyway. But I think if, Sony put Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield at the end of the second trailer of Spider-Man No Way Home, I think the internet would break. Quite literally, I think the internet would break. And especially if they put things like Sandman in there, we get a better look at maybe Jamie Foxx's Electro, we get a better look at, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, maybe even more a close look at Alfred's Doctor Octopus, and then maybe even get a look at some of the other villains in the film. Imagine the reaction the next trailer would get. Just imagine that reaction. Now, I'm not saying I'll definitely do that, but I think if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie, and by the way, there are some quote-unquote leaked set photos going on right now that show that they actually are, take that over a grain of salt, because I don't know if they're actually legit set photos. I should put a bit of a spoiler warning there, but it's kind of like the worst kept secret in Hollywood right now, that Andrew Garfield and Tom Maguire could potentially be in Spider-Man No Way Home. And by the way, the poster I've got next to me isn't an official poster, it's just a fan-made poster, so I'm not confirming anything there, but it's kind of like the worst kept secret in Hollywood right now, that these two would potentially be in this movie. And there are some quote-unquote leaked set photos going around right now, but I'll take it with a grain of salt. Nothing's been confirmed, and I think till it finally gets confirmed by like an official at Sony or official at Marvel, or if it gets confirmed in a trailer, I think that's when you take it for real. I think that's when you take it for red, and that's when you go, okay, they're in this movie now. Same with all the villains and everything, but nevertheless, I do think that the end of the next trailer for No Way Home will have those three together. We'll have Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield all together at the end of the next trailer. Pure speculation, but nevertheless, wouldn't that be a great way to end the trailer? And it also mean that the official trailer, the second trailer for the movie, will get more views than the teaser trailer, which I think Sony will kind of like, and I think it would blow up the internet. And I think Sony and Marvel know that. I think Sony and Marvel both know what the fans want with this movie, and I think they're going to deliver on that. So, And another reason, by the way, that I do think Tom Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be in this movie, and this is kind of where I'm going to leave this live stream, where I'm going to leave this topic today. Another reason I think they're definitely going to be in this movie is because of the whole villain situation. It would be like the elephant in the room. Like, there's going to be a scene in the movie, and maybe not exactly like this scene that I'm going to talk about now, but there's going to be a scene like this in the movie, where, I don't know, Alfred is Dr. Octopus, Wonder Boy's Green Goblin, or Jamie Foxx's Electro, or masks Tom Holland Spider-Man, and realise that that's not the same Peter Parker that they faced off against in their movies. That's got to be a scene in the movie, a scene like that at least anyway, and that's going to be like the elephant in the room if he's not. Like, it'd just be a bit weird if like Alfred and Dr. Octopus or masked Tom Holland Spider-Man just went, you're not the same Spider-Man I faced off against. Well, it doesn't matter. If that's actually a scene in the movie, I'll be very annoyed, because there's going to be a scene like that, and it'd be like the elephant in the room if Tom Maguire and Andrew Garfield weren't in this movie, but their villains were. Like, Jimmy Foxx's Electro wasn't there, Wonder Boy's Green Goblin wasn't there, and Alfred and Dr. Octopus wasn't there, but not the heroes that they faced off against. It'd be like the elephant in the room, and so I do think they were in the movie, because otherwise, like I said, I do think it would be a big missed opportunity, and I think Sony and Marvel knows that. I think Sony and Marvel both know what the fans want, and I think they're delivering in this movie. And honestly, I felt that watching the teaser trailer. I really liked the teaser trailer for this movie. Was it the best teaser trailer I've seen for a movie? No. I still probably would hold that realm to probably. I'd probably say my favourite teaser trailer I've ever seen is for the last. Pardon me, is for the Last Jedi. But nevertheless, I'm really excited for this movie. It's my most anticipated movie this year. I like the teaser trailer, and I'm very much looking forward to the official trailer. Probably released in about a month's time or so. But nevertheless, I literally can't wait for this movie, and this trailer is making me more and more excited. I might talk about it again in a bit more detail in another live stream, because I'm going to watch this trailer another, 100 times, yeah. But, nevertheless, I'm very excited to this movie, and the teaser trailer was good, but I'm hoping the official trailer was better. That's all I'm going to say. And I do think the official trailer is going to end with Tom Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all together in one shot. Then cut to black. That'll be the end of the final trailer of this movie. And I think the marketing will be all out about the three Spider-Men in this movie, with potentially all these villains returning as well. But again, pure speculation. But hopefully, fingers crossed, all this happens, and Spider-Man Home is a movie everyone wants it to be. Fingers crossed it lives up to their expectations. But that is saying a lot, because I know there's a lot of expectations in this movie. But fingers crossed, it lives up to expectations. And fingers crossed, this movie is absolutely fantastic. Because, the teaser trailer got me excited. And hopefully, the official trailer gets me even more excited. And so that's the end of topic number 2 today. And that's actually the end of the live stream today. So thank you for watching this live. If you haven't watched this live, I don't know if I have actually watched. I don't know if anyone watched out. According to YouTube, no one watches live. But that's fine if you watch it on playback. Thank you for watching this on playback. And if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like, subscribe on the video, and look forward to many more both film and TV reviews and live streams coming very soon on this channel. And also remember, if you want me to talk about any topic in particular in my next live stream or my live stream after that, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream. But until then, guys, thank you for watching. But see you guys again soon. Bye.